For the next 5 minutes, I'm going to give you over 25 years of knowledge from making presentations and presenting in front of countless boardrooms and crowds. No generic tips, no gatekeeping, no fluff, just the stuff that'll help you crush your next presentation. You might not think of using tricks from television in your presentation, but this one is borrowed straight from your favorite drama, and all the best presenters use it over and over again. And that is to start with a cold open. Now let me ask you this. When was the last time you got stuck in a presentation where the person spent the first 3 minutes introducing themselves, their company, their dog, their hobbies, and a whole bunch of other things not remotely relevant to their topic, and you completely tuned out before they even got started? What if instead they had hooked you in from the very first sentence? Most audiences decide if they'll pay attention to you within the first 30 seconds of your presentation. A bio slide intro destroys that moment. Instead, leveraging a cold open builds curiosity first before giving you context. Now, you may wonder how you can do this in a business context. So some ideas would be to start with a bold claim, a surprising stat, or a relatable pain point. An example might be only 4% of presentations actually leave a lasting impression. Let's fix that. Now, after you've hooked your audience, you can intro yourself in your presentation, as your audience now trusts that you have something interesting to say. The second tip is a framework that is really useful for making sure your message actually lands, and that's the 30-3-1 rule. This framework helps you to structure your content into digestible chunks at the beginning, a middle, and an end. It's a time framework that you can think of like a sandwich. The top slice of bread is 30 seconds to grab attention. The filling is 3 minutes to deliver your core message, and the bottom slice of bread is the final minute to make it stick. If you miss any layer of that, then the whole thing falls apart. Attention spans are shrinking rapidly. If you ramble, you lose people. Structuring your message with this rhythm keeps energy up and retention high. So how do we do this? Use 30 seconds to set the stage with the hook or the problem. Then use 3 minutes to dive deep into your main idea. Then use 1 minute to land the takeaway with a punchy close or a call to action. And you can do this for each key point in your presentation to keep your audience completely engaged. Now, our next tip is a silent killer in most presentations: bad visuals. I'm talking about generic icons, pixelated charts, and yes, the dreaded clip art. Imagine showing up to a job interview in a suit made from a 2003 PowerPoint template, beige gradients, bullet points, and all. That's what your slides look like when you use old, clunky visuals. Your visuals are judged before your message is understood. Outdated slides subconsciously tell people you're behind the times and you don't know what you're talking about, even if your content is gold. And this quickly ruins any trust that you've already built with your audience. How do we avoid this problem? Use modern icons, clean infographics, and lots of white space. You want to design for clarity and consistency, not just decoration. We're not trying to show off some fancy skills here. We're trying to make our message understood. You can even assign a distinct color to each key idea so your audience can track your message without even thinking. Look, there's no shame in not being a designer, but there is a shortcut. If you want your slides to look clean, sharp, and professional without spending hours, use a smart tool like Piktochart. Think of it like showing up to a potluck with a Michelin-level dish you whipped up in 15 minutes because you had a secret recipe. That's what Piktochart is. Great presentations aren't just about what you say, but how you show it. A smart layout or a clean infographic can instantly 10x your perceived authority. To make this work for you, start with Piktochart AI-powered visual generator to convert boring bullets into visuals. This will give you a great place to work from, and then you can leverage the thousands of modern illustrations, icons, and charts to make your message stand out. Now, if you want to be truly memorable, don't just share wins. Instead, tell a story about a time you messed up. That's right, the hidden struggle. Ever seen someone open up about a failure and suddenly the whole room leans in? It's because we relate to struggle. We respect the lesson. Vulnerability builds trust fast. It makes you human, especially when coupled with how you came out of that struggle better. The best speakers show not just the highlight reel, but also the behind the scenes bloopers. Share a quick story like, I once forgot half my presentation slides. What I learned was, then you can clearly tie your struggle into the solution that you're now teaching. This next tip may make you feel a little bit uncomfortable, but I promise it's a big one because it is a secret weapon used by some of the best keynote speakers. It's called the no text for 10 seconds rule. Imagine watching a movie where the script appears on screen before the actor says the line. It totally kills the suspense, right? That's what you do when your slides show all your talking points at once. When you put text up first, the audience reads ahead and then they tune you out. You lose control of the flow. Steve Jobs was a master of this technique. You first lead with a visual, getting your audience's attention with what's on the screen. Then you talk through the key idea and finally reveal the supporting text that reinforces what you've already said, and that will help it stick. You can make it even more interesting if you use animations and those slide builds that will help keep the flow. Now, this last tip isn't about slides, it's about you. Your body language is silently speaking before you ever open your mouth. Think of yourself like a conductor. You guide your audience, not just with words, but with gestures. Great speakers don't hide their hands. They use them like punctuation. Studies show that purposeful hand gestures increase audience retention and trust. Hands signal confidence. Hiding them signals doubt. So what should you practice to add this to your next presentation? Keep your hands visible and chest tight on camera or stage. Use palms up for openness, pinch fingers for precision, or wide arms for passion. You want to avoid washing machine hands where you're constantly making these circular gestures and putting your hands in your pockets. Now, the point of this video is to help you give better presentations, but even if you're a master presenter, you'll still need to quickly and easily make presentations to use. So click here to find out how you can make McKinsey level presentations, as in a consulting company, completely from scratch using AI that you can use to ace your next presentation. If you want your presentation game to be on the same level as the biggest consulting firm in the world, I will see you over there.